Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we will... Wait, hold on. Wrong show. Let's try that again. One of my favorite video games of all time, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, finally got a remaster, and I could not be more excited. I recently replayed through Super Paper Mario and couldn't stop thinking about all the different food items you can collect and make, namely one, the Koopa Bun. It's so cute looking, and I kept thinking, huh, could I make that? And so, I did! I didn't look up any recipes for these, I just took my cooking experience and my hyperfixation with this weird paper RPG, whisked it all together with some makeshift tripod and recording equipment, and made a spicy meatball! No? Okay, let's just get on with it. So, I've got about 6 different recipes I want to do, from various points throughout Paper Mario series. I actually don't know if there's anything in Sticker Star or Color Splash. I haven't played those games, and I don't remember much about Origami King, if there were food recipes. The main thing is we're focusing on Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario. So we're going to be doing the Koopasta? It's Koopa pasta, but it doesn't, the recipe is just like a leaf and pasta. So we're going to be doing like spinach, pesto to give it that green color, Alfredo to make a creamy sauce for it, and pasta. Shroom cake. It's kind of hard to imagine how to do a cake with mushrooms, because that doesn't sound very great, but I did see some ideas for doing like a dark chocolate espresso kind of cake, so we're gonna try that out and see how that goes. Got a fruit parfait for dessert. This one's gonna be just kind of an amalgamation of fruit and syrups and yogurts, and we're gonna try to incorporate as many of the possible ingredients that could be used for this one into it. The Koopa Bun is very clearly like a steamed bun. I'm going to approach this in a little bit different of a way. I'm gonna make more of a traditional steamed meat bun. I didn't want to do turtle, even though there's not meat in it. I thought, oh, a turtle, it's a turtle shaped bun, but I didn't want to do that because I grew up with turtles. I can't do that. So the closest thing I could think to that was alligator, but it is very hard to just find alligator. So the next closest thing would be pork. You know, I decided, well, if I'm gonna do pork, if I'm gonna do sausage, it might as well be Italian sausage, because, you know, wahoo. I needed like a main entree kind of thing. And so one that I thought would be interesting and not too far out there is the fruity hamburger. This one seems a little weird, but I figured if I make a hamburger patty, and it clearly has like a sauce on it, so I'm definitely meant to use like a fruity sauce. So I decided to take some blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, make like a deep tart sauce. Almost like a, you can find vinegary steak sauces. I don't like vinegar. Vinegary fruity steak sauces, but so this one's kind of like that with cooking wine and different fruits, but just without the vinegar. And our final recipe will be a surprise for later, so stick around to see that. The Koop pasta was definitely one of the easiest recipes to do, being pretty simple, just boiling pasta, wilting some spinach, adding Alfredo sauce and pesto to it, combining it all together, and boom, it's done. I did make one big mistake though. You know, I did pesto to give it that green color, but in the moment, I was thinking, oh, this isn't green enough. So I added a little bit of food dye to it. And the kicker is I've never actually worked with food dye, so I think I added too much. And yeah, that's green. The shroom cake was very simple, even though I don't have a lot of baking experience. Cut up mushrooms, mix all the wet and dry ingredients, melted chocolate, sugar, flour, eggs, all that good stuff to make a cake. I did have to add a little more chocolate and flour than was necessarily called for, and that may have been what ended up contributing to it being really dense, but either way, finally made a batter and poured it up and baked it in the oven. Aside from how radioactive this thing looks, this is the most food-like object I've made this entire time. So it is a little disturbingly green, but you know, sometimes that's just how it goes. And I mean, there's not much to really be said about it. It's pasta. It's very green pasta with pesto, which I love, and Alfredo sauce, which I love. I went a little heavy on the pesto, trying to get that green color, and then, well, you know, went a little heavy on other things too, but this is the one I'm simultaneously the most excited for and the most scared of. A mushroom cake. Shroom cake. It's just, that is a dense cake. May have put too much chocolate in it. I mean, I tasted the batter, and it tasted good. I don't know how, I don't know how the mushrooms in there are gonna be. That was a really dense cake. It kind of works. Like, the earthy tones of the espresso and the dark chocolate actually kind of meld well with the mushrooms. Let me pull that out. It is a very dense piece of cake. I mean, mushrooms are still kind of a strange texture in there, but they don't override it or anything. This is not half bad. I am eating a cake with mushrooms inside of it, and it's not that bad. The fruit parfait has so many ingredient options that I just decided I wanted to use all of them. I cut up slices of mango and peach to go with it, and blended up yogurt with strawberry preserves for the jam and jelly. I drizzled maple syrup inside the glass, which was admittedly weird, and filled it with my yogurt, whipped cream, slices of fruit, and topped with a cherry for aesthetics. This is definitely one of the most simple of all the dishes, but I feel like blending my own strawberry yogurt kind of adds to it. And I mean, it's good. It's a yogurt parfait. It's hard to mess that up. I don't really like peaches that much. Just not really one of my favorites, so I would probably keep these out of it. But otherwise, this is good. I can do the thing with the cherry stem, where you tie it with your tongue. It takes me an hour to do it, but I can do it. Ta-da! Can't really show that off very well, but cherry stem, tied in my mouth. How about that? Infer with that information what you will. But yeah, this is good. The fun thing about this is, much like how the Mario one can be made with a bunch of different ingredients, you can make this with whatever you want. It's a fruit parfait. You just need a yogurt or ice cream if you wanna, whipped cream and fruit. Literally make whatever you want. Let me scoop some of that honey and maple syrup out. The maple syrup is a little weird in here. Even though it's sweet, it is a little strange. I don't like that I put maple syrup in this, but otherwise it's good. Alright, I'm gonna sit here and eat the whole thing. I'm actually gonna finish this while I finish making something else. For the sauce on the fruity hamburger, I decided to go with a berry blend of raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries to make a nice, subtly sweet but tangy sauce that would pair well with meat. After letting them all sweat a bit with some brown sugar, I blended them up and put them back on the stove with some cooking wine to reduce. Pro tip, by the way, don't walk away from a simmering sauce. It might boil over. After that, I made up some simple hamburger patties, seared them up, and drizzled the sauce right over the top, like a gravy. The Koopa buns were the most involved process. After mixing together a simple cake-like batter, I went ahead and rolled half of it into a ball for the limbs of the bun. I then took the other half and added the infamous green food dye, so I could make the shell part of the bun. After mixing all of the color in and horribly staining my hands and counter, I set the dough balls in the fridge overnight to rest. I made a filling out of Italian sausage, green onions, and, well, mango to match the recipe from Thousand Year Door. I rolled out the green dough and cut circles with a cup and added filling, folding over and pinching at the top. It's important to note here that I have never done this before and honestly have no idea what I was doing. The regular dough was rolled out and cut into little balls to be appendages. Then, into a nice steamy bath they went. They swelled up a lot and I didn't bother spraying the strainer they were on, so they got really stuck. But overall came out looking pretty dang cute, honestly. Alright, so let's see how this combination of beef and fruit tastes together. Okay, that's not half bad. The fruit is still a little odd. It's maybe just a little too sweet to go with the burger. But it's not terrible. The sauce itself is really good. The burger's a burger. So, if you're looking for like something to put on a burger, maybe don't do fruit. But for what we got, it works. So these guys didn't turn out exactly how I wanted them to. They swelled up quite a bit. They still look pretty cute though. But, you know, they held together. They've got a green shell. They are a little Koopa bun, so let's, I don't know the best way to eat this guy. If I eat it from like this side, that looks kind of weird. I guess we'll just go in this way. A lot fluffier than I thought they would be. I definitely should have tried to roll the bread out a little more. The bread itself is like nice and fluffy and chewy. It's a really good texture. Cooking the pork and mango together was a good call, because all those flavors sat there and intermingled. Yeah, just a lot fluffier than I expected it to be. Not bad. I would eat these again. There were a lot of work to do. I would maybe eat these buns again like how I made them. But I don't know if I would go through the trouble of making a green shell and putting a face and hands on them. That's also a little bit weird. And now, the staple of cooking in the Paper Mario series, the mistake. If you've ever messed up a recipe in these games, this abomination comes out. I don't have footage of cooking it, and from the picture alone it was hard to identify any of the ingredients, but I decided to make some really burnt beans with hot dogs in them, way overdone and dried out peas, and top it with an entire fish that I just left in the oven until I forgot about it. And voila! I don't think I'm gonna eat this one. I mean, it's cooked. It's food. these burnt baked, okay, these burnt baked beans and Vienna sausages, I will actually eat this, because it actually goes pretty hard. Ooh, those are definitely some burnt beans, though. I don't like how baked beans shouldn't be crunchy. All this, like, brown sugar, maple syrup, not maple syrup, brown sugar, barbecue sauce, all this around the edge, these crunchy bits, that should be crunchy. Burnt, mushy peas that were cooked underneath a whole ass fish. God, they even smell fishy. Yeah, those are certainly overcooked, dry ass peas. Oh, just the smell of that. And the tiniest bit of fish meat. I mean, it's unseasoned fish, you know? So, it kind of tastes like nothing. It is kind of weird just, like, digging into a fish like this. That's a rib cage. Okay. Let me get a little bit of meat, a little bit of bean and hot dog, a little bit of burnt ass peas. Okay, this is a bite of everything. This is the mistake in a whole bite. I think we're done here. Why did I do all of this? Well, I have made a super huge mess everywhere and kind of spoiled my appetite. Vienna sausages are actually good, I don't know what to tell you. But let's get this fish away from me. Yeah, that's food from Paper Mario. This cost me more money and time than I would like to admit, and I have so many dishes to go deal with that I don't want to touch. I don't even know when I'm gonna release this video, because I plan on doing it when the Thousand Year Door remake launches, but as of right now, we don't have a release date, so I'm just gonna have to think about what I've done for a very long time. I think I might cry.